Hey, hey, hey.
Sweet.
Hey guys,
Hey,
what's up?
let's see who pops in today. It's we had some good showing last week,
Yeah.
um, and yeah, let's hey, everybody.
Randy hops on.
Hello,
Yeah,
Randy
hello.
for here. Say
Randy,
hi.
Mohammed, Blake, all of the above. Last week it was pretty cool. I mean, it always happens like last week where nearing the last 10 minutes, more people start asking questions and um, chatting in the chat. So if you're here, just say hi. Say if it's your first time.
Yeah.
Post in the chat. Say what's up.
So I wish we could see a list of people who were viewing. I mean, we just get the numbers unless you message. But
Right.
that's
Does YouTube have that where you can just see like the users?
no. That's a good call. I don't think so. I guess not. Yeah, because it would be hard. I guess because you would
They
have
might
to
give
be.
you a list of subscribers, but not. I don't think like the emails, maybe the usernames of subscribers, but
Oh, that are watching.
no total. Like
Oh,
your audience list. Maybe, but no, not on a per view basis. Unfortunately,
oh, right. Twitch does, right? Does they'll maybe? I don't know.
I've never
Hmm.
twitched.
I never twitched either. I don't think I've. I think I've watched one Twitch stream in my life, and I think it was like a 10 minutes of. It was like like one of those Pokemon streams. Was it Claude do Pokemon or something? Claude plays Pokemon.
Yeah, I missed both Twitch and Discord, and I feel like I missed a whole generation of gamer gen culture because I feel like so many things happen there that I just was not privy to. Uh, you know,
Totally.
especially
Are you a
this. So, well, gamer culture would be more Discord, but Twitch was interesting because Twitch basically was the OG streaming platform, and I remember it was just like I remember I had this conversation. I was such a boomer because, and I still stand by this. But I remember I talked to this person. I was like, "What are you watching?" He's like, "Oh, this person's playing a game." I'm like, "You're not playing a game." I'm like, "Wait, so you watch another person playing a game? Why would you do that?" It just blew my mind. I'm like, "What the hell?" But like, that's the way you connect, I guess. With people.
Well, the great analogy I've heard people say is, well, you watch someone play basketball.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
Yeah.
like you're not playing it. You're sitting there drinking a beer and not playing basketball.
Yeah. It's funny. I remember when I was young, I would watch a bunch. Like I like Call of Duty, and I'd play it a bunch, but I'd also like watch Call of Duty videos because they were just so much better than me. It was like something I was like, oh, I can go play and like do okay, but then I can go watch like some crazy COD players, and they would just be so good. I was like, wow. And then I'd learn from them, and I'd be like, oh, you can go like snipe from this point of the map or whatever. I haven't played COD in so long. That was a
Yeah, no,
fun.
it's so interesting about.
There was
I mean,
a
and now it's like the dominant thing, Speed or Kai. I mean, these streamers, they're like the big celebrities now, and so,
Right.
so it's crazy to see like the change. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go. I was just gonna say my celebrity gamer was if you guys remember this back in the day on Halo. Did you guys ever play Halo 3?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There was a guy, like I feel like one of the first YouTube guys to go famous for video game was Cog Overlord. He'd have triple shots. I don't know if that rings any bells, but I remember that guy.
Triple shots? Like,
Yeah, he would like a triple headshot. Like, he would get 3 people.
Oh,
nice.
Shot,
Yeah.
and I was like, whoa.
yeah. I never was a Halo fan. I mean, I played it like once in a while, but I leaned more towards COD. I don't know. That was just my preference. I don't know why.
Yeah, but it's a very interesting shift if you think about like 10 years ago, the Logan Pauls, like the big ones, they were the first vloggers. Vlog was the thing, right? And that was basically enabled by a cell phone. You could go out, you could shoot video, and the idea was you connect with them in real life, and that was like the wave. And then streaming, it was kind of there, but then it became big, and now it's like, so it's almost like, there's this amazing chart about how much time we spend every day online, and it's almost like your life becomes more digital. So it's not like you one day wake up and you upload your mind to the cloud, but gradually we kind of do. And so you can think of that, the vlog to streaming transition, as like, oh, why would I want to see you going out and buying something at a grocery store when I'm just sitting in front of my computer, you're sitting in front of my computer. That's just our life, and we interact with stuff on the web. And so it's just interesting to see like that transition. I feel like and maybe that just, if you just extend that, what is the next stage? Is it as Fortnite type VR characters just sitting by a fireside or something?
Right.
Yes.
Right. No, totally. Also, hey, Adrian.
Hey.
Wait, quick question on this stream. I mean, do you guys still hear music? Because I turned it off, but
Not really.
because I think I hear music in the background, but I turned it off, and it's
Maybe it's your neighbor is playing some jazz or something.
I hear like an operatic thing playing.
Right.
Oh, I do hear the streaming the music.
Now I turned it back on, but
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I can't figure out how to turn it off because it doesn't say any music's playing and everything's off. But doesn't matter. We'll get background music, I guess, slightly the entire time. But yeah, Franny hears the music too. So
Randy's in the
I'll have
house.
Hello.
to see, now we hear the music comes back on, but I turn it off. But there's something in the back.
Interesting. I don't hear it. But,
Super subtle, but doesn't matter. So yeah. Oh, cool. We have a bunch of people on today. How you guys both doing?
it's good.
Good.
Today I know it's a big day. Some big
Big
announcements.
day. A lot of announcements today. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think let's first off, let's kick off. I think, well, obviously, if you're new here, we're JellyPod, and we do this thing every Wednesday where we live stream at 10 a.m. Pacific, and we just talk about everything that we released in the last week and kind of where our heads are at for the next week, and keep you updated a little bit behind the scenes of the product and how we're thinking about what to build next, and just have some banter, and it's fun. And I thought it would be just useful to kick it off right away with just some product announcements. Started off strong there. It's been a big week. I mean, I think we've had some cool things that people have asking for, and yeah, I mean, yeah. Hey, Mohammed. So, what did we release this week? We released
So many things. Like the top three feature requests, I feel like, of the last month were all released this week. It was epic, or over the last 7 days. Like,
right.
almost, it feels like launch week. It feels like
Yeah, well, Pearson knocked out a bunch. We had we increased the host from 2 to 4. That's big, so you can do that.
Right.
Um,
So that was cool because I mean, like, so many people were asking, and we were kind of debating on this was something that was technically possible a little bit earlier. We were waiting for like confirmation on some of the technical details, but yeah, now you can add more hosts to your shows. So it used to be limited to 2, but now we can add 4. So pretty sweet.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's kind of, in my head, I always think of podcasts as just like a 2-person conversation. But I mean, if you get 3 or 4, I mean, it can increase. It increases so many more possibilities and can get dynamic, and it can make your show kind of stand out in a way too, because most people just do the standard 2 format or 2-person format podcast.
The 2 main use cases that I've heard that really stand out to me are like a classroom dynamic. So like one professor talking, and then your 3 other hosts are like popping in and asking questions of the expert. So this sort of
nice.
expert crowd model. And then the second cool use case I've heard of is 2 of your like go-to podcast hosts that are always there week after week, but they bring on a guest. So like now you have your 2 core people, like say it's your voice clone and it's your AI co-host. This is 2 of you. Now you can invite guest clones, like, people in your network, people who are around your business. You can invite them on to be interviewed. That's super cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I love that, those kind of dynamics, and like someone calling in and stuff. But yeah, you can do your own view, I guess, the view show. And the second feature, I guess, which is really cool, is the import scripts. So you can, because I know a lot of you guys have what the workflow, especially as either you use Google Docs or especially ChatGPT, you'll use one of these AI tools, you'll actually create your own script, and you would just rather import that script over than right now. The way it used to work was you would then create the outline and then kind of manually update the script, to get it just right. And well, now you can just import that script directly, and it'll follow that format. The button is and we're still debating, I think, where else we can put it, but it's kind of hidden. But you have to go to the podcast page, and it's where if you go to your podcast page, there's a create episode button, and next to it there's a icon with a up arrow, and that's where you can import the script.
Right. No, yeah, this was super cool. So the import scripts, kind of like a lot of people will take that script from like they already come to Jellypod with expectation where I already have a script that I've made, and I'm just trying different platforms to see which one can work best for me. And you could bring that over. That's super easy. It could come in as a plain text file, a markdown file, a PDF, or in the best case situation, just copy and paste it and drop it in. So it's like if we don't support the file that you're creating in, just copy it, paste it in, and it'll work. It'll get converted into Jellypod format. It takes like 30 to 60 seconds to import and convert it all usually. So just give it a little bit of time, but it should just work. And then you can go in and make all your edits, select the hosts. What's pretty cool about this is like you created your script like on ChatGPT, and we'll automatically match your hosts and your speakers from your script to the host in your podcast. So like we'll intelligently go and just make sure that all your hosts, as long as there's some similarity in the names, you can't create a script over here between Bob and Susan and then your podcast has like Joe and Donnie. We just won't know how to match it, really. We'll try, but we'll match them, and if anything's wrong, you can go and just like select and reselect your host. But should be pretty easy to go from import script to a podcast. So
yeah.
But if you want this result,
feature.
what were you saying?
No, I was just saying, I think this is a super powerful feature because I think a lot of people have a workflow already and they just rather want to import it there. And we are working on extending our studio with, we're probably going to give you research options and more chat options where you can actually do that ChatGPT workflow within Jellypod. But until then, this is just a great way for you to just seamlessly move over to Jellypod for the audio creation.
Totally. I do to get the best results, just in case you want to try and put the names in brackets, because sometimes the speakers will say the other people's names, right? So how do you distinguish between Peter, the host, and me saying, Peter, how are you? Right? It's kind of you can get into a murky area. But luckily there's a blog post about it and a YouTube video if you are confused. It's always there.
Yeah. Has anyone in the chat used it? If you have, just like let us know. If you haven't, let us know. Say script. Put script in the chat. Just type script. It'll help us out to see if you haven't used it.
Put the dubs in the chat.
Dubs in the chat.
Yeah.
No, exciting. Yeah, no, these are like, again, super powerful features. I think like these kind of things, like they add up so much value because people just, for them it's like so simple, like, oh, I just want 4 hosts, I want to import my script, but it's it can get a little tricky under the hood, but when you implement it, the value it unlocks is amazing. And speaking of value, another simple thing I think relatively we did was but powerful thing we did was that we can actually dynamically, we've gotten so much feedback on, oh, how do I control duration of my episode, right? We give you the standard 3 chapters, and the hack has been you have to add more chapters in the outline, and then you can create a longer script. A lot of you guys want to create like 10, 20, 30-minute scripts. And so now we let you select from 3, 5, and 10 chapters, in the dropdown, or 7. I think 7 might be an option too, but you can like select from them when you regenerate the outline, and it's a premium feature, but you can easily create a longer script now in Jellypod. And in addition to that, when you click the add chapter, it used to just give you an empty outline box now what we do is we look at your previous outline blocks and smartly generate the next block, so you have something to work with when you add more chapters.
Right. That one's cool. It just pretty much, when you add a new chapter, just add something logically.
Yeah.
It makes sense as your next one.
It's easier to just build on the outline. So yeah,
Right.
that's cool.
It's so cool. It's just like it's a magical. It
That
really
one's
feels
cool.
like a magic outline.
Right. No. Okay. So far we've added max hosts has gone from 2 to 4. Import scripts, dynamic or like more intelligent chapter additions, and end length controls, and then another one that we added in the last week was duplication of episodes. So if you have a episode that you've pretty much polished up and it's like a solid base and it's either been published or it's still in draft, but you just want to take that one, save it, and then duplicate it, you can just click duplicate episode on the episode drop down. Like you have the little ellipses, like the 3 little dots. If you click on that, it'll say duplicate episode. I'll duplicate it. And I have 2 versions. You'll have a copy version and the new and your old version. And now you can go and like make all the changes you want to that copy version. You have to regenerate the audio, but the transcript stays the same. It'll be copied. The outline will stay the same. The title will be the same, but they'll just say copy. Yeah, I mean, that was also something a lot of people were asking for.
Yeah, no, super powerful. Like, it's sometimes it's way building on the previous feature. A lot of times I've personally like to have something there and just edit versus starting from scratch. So it definitely helps with the duplicating a previous episode.
Right.
And then finally, I think another one which maybe not be applicable to this group, but if you're onboarding, we added a voice cloning feature which lets you clone your voice immediately as you onboard, and it's right there. You clone your voice and generate the podcast, which we hope that lets you go from 0 to 1 on JellyPod, very fast and get that aha moment, which we know from our data is like the voice cloning. Guys love the voice cloning, and so we wanted to surface that earlier to our new users.
Right. Yeah, it's super interesting. I mean, like I read this article the other day about how important that first impression is. I mean, hopefully for everybody here, like you're joining us on a Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, that we at least impressed enough to keep you around and actually join this call. So it's really awesome. So thanks to everybody that's always on here and all the new people that are joining. But that first impression, that onboarding flow is critical. And if you haven't done it, you can do it and see it. Just go jellypod.ai/studio/onboarding. So just put /onboarding and you can go through the onboarding flow. There's no like easy button to get there, but you can try it out yourself if you'd like, and see like kind of that AI assisted flow. But yeah. And I see we have some comments too, real quick.
Yeah.
So JellyPod supports 32 languages as of today.
Yeah, soon to double.
And soon to double. So if you speak more than 32 languages, you'll be very happy when we go to like 70. But the majority
or all the most common Spanish, French, Portuguese, Arabic, or Hindi,
right,
Mandarin. So
if you're making the same episode, if you're trying to like translate quickly, now if you combine this with the duplicate feature, what you do is you'll duplicate the episode, make sure that's a draft, and then you'll flip the podcast language to the one that you want, and then just hit regenerate script. And then it's great.
There you go.
It won't be word for word the same, but it'll be a very similar episode.
Yeah,
that's because it's grounded in that outline. It's like the outline's the same, and so we just go from outline to script English, outline from script Spanish.
Yeah, it's well, I thought that you had to change the podcast level language for that. It doesn't pick up. It's just whatever the outline is.
No, you'd have to change the podcast language.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
But it's fascinating. We've talked about multilingual conversation before, something, which technically you could do. It's more about just the surfacing that, but that could be very interesting, having someone speaking in Spanish and you're speaking in English, whatever. I think as a language learning podcast, that could be very interesting. But yeah, languages are super. I wish I had a better brain for languages, but it's so interesting. Have you guys ever heard of Esperanto, by the way?
Yeah, the universal language.
Yeah, it's a very fascinating.
Yeah.
It's only like, I think 20,000 people speak it or whatever, but it's like a modern language, and some guy made it only 100 years ago. But it's supposed to be the most logical language in terms of like he took all the languages and he studied them, and he's like, this is the most logical language, and supposedly it makes sense. But it's just fascinating because people randomly, like, if there's no unlike other languages, it's not like you're born in an area and you pick up that language. Like, people actually like learn this language, and
Right.
and there's this like tribe of people who are
Interesting. Have you ever seen that there's a meme in like software engineering, but like it's kind of more generalized. It's like, why isn't there a unified, like there's like 7 different
Now
programming languages? Like,
yeah.
why isn't there like one way that does everything perfectly? Now you have 8.
Yeah. That's kind of how it is.
But
This reminds
and
me-
Adrian, oh sorry, go ahead, Jason.
I was gonna say those efficiency hackers, like the people who like switch their keyboard. You know how like the keyboard is like the most inefficient ordering of keys. But then like you
Really?
can, yeah, it was the current keyboard you use is intentionally the most inefficient way to type the English language, because they wanted to increase time between keystrokes so that the typewriters wouldn't jam. So that like you'd be hopping all over the place versus being in one cluster, and then the keys would jam. So they intentionally made it so that like related letters weren't in the same place together. But there is also an efficient keyboard design where the letters are all together in bunches the way you'd use them. So some people will flip to these like hyper efficient keyboards to trim off some milliseconds off of their typing speed.
Man.
That's wild.
Yeah, I didn't know that, because I thought the QWERTY thing, and I can't type like this. I'm like a boomer. I go like this because I just never learned the 4-finger thing.
Yeah, I took a typing test the other day, and I was like, "How fast can I type?" And it was decent. It was like right under like this is like looking at words, typing really fast. It was like 100 words per second, or words per minute, like right around like 90 something. And I was like, "Oh, that's decent," but that's like actually you don't have to think, because you're just like repeating what's on the screen. You're like typing really fast.
Right.
But
Yeah.
some people go crazy, like those secretaries that.
They have a
that's-
120 minimum or something. They have a words per minute, like a metric they have to hit. But yeah,
That's-
they also
But
have
yeah, sorry, I was just gonna call out Adrian because he said he speaks Romanian, and Romanian is one of those supported languages. So already supports today. And just going through this list real quick of everybody on that chat. If you have any questions, let us know. Just pop them in there. But Carrie was asking how one can monetize the app. So we don't have monetization in the app today. Let's just pop you up here. But I mean, throw your podcast on Spotify. If you have advertisers, or you're already like an entrepreneur or a business owner that has ads, put them in. So people are doing that today.
Yeah, people just spend 30 minutes to an hour, every week, put out some episodes, get millions of followers, get invited on, shows, get a private jet, go to your island, and then thank us, I guess, and make a donation.
Yeah, and then invite us to your island once you
Yeah.
have your millions of listeners.
Yeah, there you go.
I
But
think
sweet.
even Franny has a really cool example, which is she'll paste so you can drag and drop audio files directly into the script. So if you have a 30-second ad read, you have like an MP3 somewhere, just drag it and drop it and put it right in the script, export it out to wherever you want, and then you've got ad reads inside of it. And if you want to go even more sort of native, you can add a line into your outline with, what the ad's about, and then it'll sort of create an ad for you, or you could copy and paste exact text into the script editor.
Right. Yeah. So a lot of ways to do it. Really cool. And if there's another way that we don't really support, let us know. But yeah, I mean, and also I think we have some other, a lot of product news this week, big week. Thanks for everybody that's hopping on and has been hopping on all the time. But yeah, we have some other news as well. Wanted to share.
Yeah, some big news. So this is going to be my last Weekly Wednesday. I am stepping away from JellyPod to attend to family, but nonetheless, I think I'm so excited about JellyPod, where it's going. This team is unreal, and the Weekly Wednesdays will continue, and these awesome things will continue. So, and I recently checked, we have a chart that looks at traction, and it seems to only be accelerating. So it is a very exciting time for JellyPod, and it's a bittersweet feeling. I'm excited to spend more time with my family, but I'm also so excited for JellyPod.
Yeah,
I mean, we will miss you for sure. I know. The crew here will miss you as well. I'm sure. You're a fan favorite.
Yeah,
you've been the face. I mean, most of you, I would assume 90% of you, or if not all of you, probably stumbled across at least one of Jason's videos of a tutorial video, or have talked to him through our support chat. And Jason, I mean, I've said this before, but just we wouldn't be here without you and everything that you've done for JellyPod. So I'm wishing you the best, and it's going to be very different. We'll keep chugging along, and yeah.
Totally. No, I appreciate that. And I want all the people who are on this and all the customers who watch this afterwards, and to know that the team. I don't know if these guys are above me in the video, but these two guys are unreal. I mean, Pearson, like the amount of work ethic, the amount of drive to make this thing incredible for all of you is unreal. And Bilal, same drive and so much passion for this space, and for really helping all of you tell your unique stories. So it's incredible.
Right, totally. So yeah, I mean, we'll miss you, Jason. So I know Adrian over here is really asking for a demo. And
we have episodes, Adrian. You can go check them out. Like, there's tons of demos on our YouTube channel. Like, when including yours through Jason. So I would definitely check it out.
JellyPod walkthrough. So if you're looking for a Command F and you're not finding demo, just look for walkthrough, and there's
it's on our homepage too. I mean, literally the first thing you see.
Yeah. But Jason, thanks so much. We'll some of the things that you're doing, I'll take on. I'll take on a lot of those tutorial videos and chat. So you'll see my name a little bit more in the chat if you're reaching out through support. So hopefully the number of support requests go down, and the service JellyPod gets better. But I know Peter. We've been talking, and a lot of you, like, you just talk because you use the platform so much, and just because you use it so much, you find weird bugs, and hopefully we resolve them really quickly and they're permanently resolved. But sometimes, it is what it is, and hopefully the bugs aren't extremely critical, but if they are, we prioritize those and fix them. But so you'll see my name a little bit more, Bilal's name a little bit more. And we'll still be having these Weekly Wednesdays, still be talking about everything. Maybe Jason will come on the chat and say hey once in a while, maybe. But yeah.
Well, it was amazing. Fun time. I'll miss all of you guys, and I mean, obviously the team above, but I'll miss everyone in support, and all the customers that have made this just so special.
Totally. Well, And yeah, and on that note, I mean, it's 10:30 Pacific. So for all of you that are joining us for the first time, we do this every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, talk about all the product releases, news, have some conversation, and we'll discuss more next week. But on that note, last weekly Wednesday with F3. So, yeah.